Good evening, Your Excellency. Just last week, Thursday, we met here for you to engage Bayelsans in the media chats, the first for this year, 2019. Your Excellency, we are meeting here again today. Sir, your administration will be seven years on the 14th of February, which is tomorrow, and you have been on the helm of affairs. Your Excellency, you have achieved so much success with several landmark projects embarked upon by the restoration government in virtually all sectors of the economy and across the whole state. Now, Your Excellency, some of these projects are in the education sector, health, roads and infrastructure, prudent management of scarce resources, the international cargo airports, and of course, the flyover bridge. Maybe we should also add human capacity building. I will take the first question, which is the 2019 general election is just about 48 hours from now. Your Excellency, what is advised to Bayelsans before, during, and after this week polls?
Well, my country people, I greet you all. And it's a pleasure to speak to you once again. We had an interaction on this forum just last week, but it has become necessary for me to once again raise some of the issues that are pertinent for two reasons. Firstly, because peace and law and order and peaceful elections are important for our state and for our country. And secondly, the election is coming on the heels of our 7th anniversary. And so this is both an election address as well as an anniversary address, all rolled into one. So I want to congratulate all of you in Bayelsa because your government is clocking 7 years of high level, high performance, high service delivery. By tomorrow being 14th, tomorrow is 14th, which is Valentine's Day. And we are a Valentine government, a Valentine state. And so let me wish you all happy Valentine's Day in advance. And tomorrow a number of wonderful things will also be happening. Because of the elections, everyone is engaged, everyone is busy, except the other party that is not campaigning. They are relying on using federal mind, they are relying on armed thugs, they are relying on surveillance contractors. But my party and our candidates are everywhere campaigning. Just this evening, I returned from a big rally in Kolokuma, Pokuma. Yesterday, I was in Ogbia. The other day, I was in Nembe and Brass, talking about peaceful elections, but also reminding our people that every citizen has a duty to come out, to be law-abiding, and to cast his or her vote. It's a civic obligation. But also, I've used this period to do what we did last time, reminding our people not to be cowed, our people not to be intimidated by anybody. Elections are about you, the citizens, voting for people of your choice. And nobody has a right, no matter how highly placed, no matter the uniform or color of cloth that person wears, to intimidate you, to force you to vote one way or the other. It is your right to say no to that person. It is your right to resist that person. That is what being a citizen means. And anyone talking about electoral officials, talking about security officials, I believe that the crop of security officials we have here, largely speaking, they will do what is right. But I also know that there are characters who don't believe in doing things properly. They just believe in doing things their own way, even if it means everybody in their communities must die. So be it. They're not bothered. Those ones I know have been doing everything and will continue to do. They can never change. They will do everything to intimidate, drop names, to intimidate and harass security operatives, to drop names to intimidate them. They will get people to call people to intimidate them to do what is wrong. And so part of my address to even all security operatives is to be alive to your duties and your responsibilities, and to do according to your code of conduct and according to the laws of our state. Yesterday, the other day, I think 2 days ago, was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday we hosted the president. And part of what I raised with him was the need to call certain people who are using his name to intimidate and harass people to order. And the president clearly told me nobody has his mandate to use his name to harass and intimidate anybody, or to use his name to intimidate and harass any security operative. And if your president says so, you have to believe him. And so what I want to tell all Bayelsans, there are people who are telling some young men, don't worry, we are going to arm you. President Buhari says we should arm you, and on election day, you should go and kill people, take the materials and write for him. Now you have to listen to me, that all those are liars. They are telling you lies. They are doing to you what some of these unscrupulous people do to Boko Haram operatives, telling them all kinds of stories. That when they blow up people and they die, they have, is it 70 or 90 virgins waiting for them. That's the kind of thing these characters are telling you. And I know one thing. The president's home state of Katsina, I don't believe that the president will buy weapons, AK-47 rifles, and arm people in his community or in his local government because he himself is contesting an election. I don't believe that in Atiku's state of Adamawa, that Atiku Abubakar will buy arms and give to young people in his state and in his own local government of Jada, I think, and his community for people to be killed. You Bayelsans by now should have known that some of the people you call your leaders are criminals. Like Timothy Silva, that's a common criminal. Or Eneken Lopobri, that's a terrorist. The only reason they have not been charged to court and convicted is because you are in a country where laws are not respected and obeyed. Take for example, Adi. I said those are common criminals and terrorists. Common criminals. But you have a country where non-state actors, criminals, cult leaders, now rub shoulders with security personnel trained to defend the country. In fact, in this state, it is the other way around. Silva and Lukobri want security officials, including generals. Can you imagine the insult? A commissioner, you can't become a commissioner of police until you have served almost 30 years as graduate entrant. The same for all services. These commanders you people see are very trained, experienced people. One of the best. The only reason is they are working in Nigeria. And in this state, Timothy Silva and Lukobri want criminals to give instructions to Nigerian soldiers, to Nigerian security operatives. And I feel very bad. I feel insulted. I feel the country is being insulted. And I also feel that the services are being insulted. These people wearing the colors of our country deserve all the respect and all the support. And I call on all of you Bayelsans as you prepare for the elections, all those security operatives in our state, soldiers, naval operatives, SSS operatives, police, men and women, civil defense, Air Force officers and airmen and women, that you will be seen doing their legitimate jobs, performing their legitimate duties of protecting our waterways. Cooperate with them because they have my support and they are doing what is right. Those that you will see protecting electoral materials and electoral officials in your communities, in the various rack centers, standing security duty, performing electoral polling duties, the police and the civil defense, at the inner corridors, cooperate with them if they are doing their jobs well. But when you see anybody wearing uniform, anybody who calls himself any name, when you see even Lokpopri himself in a Kerema on that day, as he always does, bringing out thugs and criminals and arming them, the people of the Kerema community and all around should resist him. Because that is all right. No one, no matter how highly placed, has the right to insult the collective integrity of their communities, assault their collective peace and security, just for their own ego. That is criminal. All those things are being recorded. Of course, you all know that there's a white paper issued indicting them in respect of what they did during the last elections. The time does not run against the state. We are going to prosecute them, and very soon you will see. For young people who have been misled, let me tell you, drop those arms they have bought for you. They have no use to you. They want to destroy you more. Ask where Karowe is. Lokpopri used him for several years, shooting and intimidating people. But where is he? Karowe was killed by the military. His community laid to waste. A lot of destruction took place there. They suffered innocent collateral damage. That is what these two people want this state to be. They want a state that is lawless. And we, the majority of our people, must say no to them. It is unfortunate that they serve in a government that does not know how to call people to order. And it's not just about two of them. You all see what is happening in the country. A government that does not know to tell their people, no, this is wrong, you can't do this in my government. I don't know which president will appoint and retain a minister like Lokpopri with his track record. I don't know which other party, apart from the APC, will have as its leader somebody like Timipri Silva. If you are a minister, for example, why do you need to, if you are anything, why is it that in your community you can't get majority support of 4 women and youth and leaders? Who are your mothers and your fathers, by the way? Who are your brothers and your kith and kin? You should know that there's something wrong in the brain of that person. They are not normal. They are not normal people. But the majority of our state that is normal should resist them. I have made it clear that all the services have our support. All those who are working tirelessly, even as we speak now, are holding meetings, planning how to protect and secure our waterways, planning how to secure the land areas, planning how to secure communities and protect our people while they vote. God bless all of you who are striving hard, in spite of intimidation, in spite of needless provocation, in spite of blackmail and name dropping from Abuja by Lokpopri and Silva. God will bless you and you have our support as you work to serve our people and our country. But for all others, be prepared. In Southern Niger, be prepared. I will be there tomorrow. And I will also tell the good people of Southern Niger to resist those bloody criminals who call themselves oil and gas, who go about terrorizing people. I want to inform all of you that the State Security Council made a decision some years back, some weeks back, that because of the excesses of these characters, we have said at the State Security Council, which is made up of all security agencies, that on election day, oil and gas boats, oil and gas personnel, anybody working with them will have nothing to do with elections. They are to be confined to the oil installations that they are paid, that they are claiming to have a mandate to guide. Our waterways, our communities are not where we want to see any oil and gas and David Lion and Kojo and Omiebi or whatever his name, and Priyo Seke. All these young criminals and lawless people that think they have a license to disturb the peace of our state and of their communities. Their activities will be confined. I hereby mandate all of you, the law-abiding youths of Southern Niger, you know all of them. Anywhere you see oil and gas boats on election day, you have my authority to stop them and hold them down. Hold them down. They are on illegal duty. Anywhere you see David Lyons, Dragon, or whatever he calls his company, that criminal enterprise, and Kojo in the Nembe side, tell them Governor Dixon says so. I mandate you to hold them down anywhere they are. Any civil defense with them is on illegal duty. Any soldier with them is on illegal duty. And their commanders know it. I have instructed the Attorney General of the state to write a formal letter circulating that decision to all security formations in our state. And if they have ears, let them hear. The fact that I'm facing building peace and pursuing development in this state does not mean that we don't know what to do. It's just that our program is so ambitious that I don't want to be distracted. But for now, we have to make it clear. Anyone on the waterways, anyone going about without authorization, with all those who are some irresponsible security elements who may be helping them, thinking they are playing politics, whereas in fact they are committing acts of subversion that are close to treasonable felony. We are monitoring and recording all those activities. And as I say to everybody else, I'm someone with my background. If you take me for granted, then you must be a very, very big fool. We are noting everything, recording everything, and we know what to do according to the laws at the right time. Thank you very much.
We'll take the next questions, but Your Excellency, owing to time, we'll take two questions together. Elizabeth Tueke of Ray Power will take the first question. When she concludes, Anderson Lekade will take the second question so that we can provide the answers together.
Yeah, go on.
Your Excellency, sir, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and you are the only Valentine governor in Nigeria. Tomorrow also is the restoration government. Tomorrow also, the restoration government will clock 7 years in the saddle. How would you describe the last 7 years, and are there plans to mark the 7th anniversary of your government?
Well, thank you very much. Ordinarily, okay, the second question.
Yeah, Your Excellency, with your kind permission, quickly, would like you to please share with us if you're satisfied with the level of development in the state, or if actually there are areas you would have loved to touch, but time and available resources would not permit.
Well, let me start with the last. There are a lot of things I would have wanted to see done by now. Left to me, if wishes were horses, if not for the constraints of finance, the recession that we had, and so on. If not so, by now, I thought that the Sagbama Ikirimo Road would have been completely finished. When I drove to Nembe the other day, I was very happy. I was a happy man. We have a very solid road, very solid road going there. I would have thought that by now, the Sagbama Ikirimo Road should have been finished. And also the Oporoma Road. I thought by now we should be heading towards Oporoma. But we are on course. We are on course. Very soon I will get the leaders of Southern Niger to join me to drive to Oporoma. But we are slowed down. If not constraints of funding, sorry. By now I thought that work on the Agedip Seaport would have progressed beyond where we are. And a number of other developments that we had planned. We had and still have a very ambitious program, but we are very satisfied with what we have achieved so far, in spite of the recession, in spite of the challenges, the distractions, and so on. Building a state is not something you do in 4 or 8 years. It's the work of a lifetime. And is the work of several generations even. It's like a relay race. Everyone comes, runs his own race and hands over the baton. But I know that one thing is sure, by the time I'll be winding up, by 2020, February 14th, God willing, I'll be very satisfied. Already I'm very satisfied. When I go around local government areas and I shake hands with long lines of young boys and girls wearing school uniforms that our government introduced, studying in the schools that we built, being fed free by this state, and knowing how good they are looking. They are looking very responsible, looking very composed, looking like human beings, They don't strike me as potential militants. They don't strike me as potential drug lords. So I have a lot of satisfaction. Sometimes I'm close to tears when I shake their hands. Yesterday I did so with over 500 in Ogbia who are in the boarding school, being fed by this state. And I don't know any of them. I don't know any of their parents. I don't know any of their relations. And they are all there from Ogbia local government, 500 to 600 of them. And that's what you have replicated in all the local government areas. We're not talking of the healthcare facilities and the thousands of lives we are saving, or the health insurance. So people don't know there's been a fundamental paradigm shift. Fundamental paradigm shift. Or are you going to talk of the schools we have established, the new universities, the polytechnic, or you are going to talk of the new graduates we are employing and the lives we are changing? These are stories that we are a part of that will continue for several decades and generations to come. By tomorrow, I will be leading a delegation to land the first airplane in Bayelsa State. I will be leading the delegation to land the first airplane in the heartland of the John Nation. And all of these are monumental achievements. And, that's why I'm not surprised these days when I see all kinds of awards. And people know that I don't solicit for awards. It's a recognition within the state, within the country, and even outside of what we have been able to achieve. We still have a lot to do, a lot of things we would like to do. Have we taken Bayelsa to where Bayelsa should be? Have we solved all the problems? No. Problems of the state can't be solved in 4 or 8 years, no matter how hard you work, how hard you try, even if you have all the resources. But there's no doubt that our government, that I and my team have impacted on this state and the future of this state. For me, an opportunity like this is an opportunity to impact. And I believe in impact. Any assignment given to me, you will always find my fingerprint, because I believe in impact, positive impact. And we are very proud already of what we have achieved. Tomorrow at the airport, I will make a few remarks. But let me also reply that criminal called Lokobri, who is a militant cult leader, a minister who misruled. But instead of other ministers who support their governments, who support their states, his own pastime is to, anytime he opens his mouth, he will call one huge figure that nobody has ever heard of. So 1.something trillion. Because he hasn't run a government. He hasn't run a government. Got into the assembly as an underage legislator. And you all know his record there. Destroyed that assembly. They gained because of this mindset, this megalomania, this envy. He has a way of envying everybody, including the man who sent him to the assembly and made him speaker. The next thing was to impeach him, to impeach the man. And the same allegations published everywhere, alleging corruption by the government that brought him there, of which he was a part. These are misfits. These are, you know, in the bringing up of a child, a lot of things go wrong sometimes. So there are some people you see outside that you think are normal. They are not. There's something wrong in their makeup. And it comes up from time to time. You say 1.something trillion. Well, a borehole is development, so I thank him and his government, the federal government, Buhari's government, that has built only a borehole in my senatorial district, a borehole. And I hear they are doing one walkway in Torebini, and I don't want to say who the contractor is, but I congratulate them for that. If in 3 years, close to 4 years, what they have to show is a borehole and a small walkway, they have tried. But that is the reason that Bayelsans will vote out Buhari and APC. That is the reason we have told our people to reject them, because of these characters they have, and because they have nothing to show apart from hatred. And let me remind the minister, there was a time somebody called Matthew Seifa from Ekirimo was appointed acting Director General of the State Department of State. That Ekirimo, if that Ekirimo is the same Ekirimo where Lokobri claims to come from, then he has a lot of questions to answer to his people. Because I know that the people of Ekirimo are angry. I know that the people of Ekirimo are tired of Lokobri's arrogance and his criminal record and what he indulges in with his relations, election after election. I know what I know, even about what is going on in Ekirimo now, and time will tell. They will reject all of them because of these kinds of criminals. And Bayelsa, look at what you saw, the contrast. On the one hand, 2011, Buhari came here to campaign, then General Buhari. Silva was governor. He stormed Buhari out of Bayelsa. The man ran and managed to escape. And do you know one of the reasons I suspect the national chairman of APC was not here, Adams Oshomole? Because he has not forgotten what happened to him when he came to conduct primaries. And Silva and his militants and cult leaders held the poor man hostage. And he was the governor at the time. They had to call, according to him, the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Army Staff to rescue him. Bayelsan, these are the characters I have been protecting you people against. Silva and Lokobri. Operation Doakbo that is there, not political. Protecting all of you. If anybody has a challenge, you call, they come. Whether they are APC, they are PDP, or you have no party. For the past 7 years, I've never given any unlawful instruction to any security official. Everybody, including those who disagree with me, and you all know, people who disagree with me, come freely to Bayelsa. Spend their time, do their businesses, their relations, and everybody is protected. But these two characters, if a national chairman of a party will not come, is not sure whether Timipre Silva now with Lokobri will kidnap him and hold him hostage. Did you people see any other APC national leader? Nobody came because they know them. These are outlaws. And my warning is to security agencies. Know these two people as outlaws. They are criminals. It's only in our kind of country that they now are associated with having political power at some level. But that is also the more reason their party and their government should be voted out. So, by tomorrow, we will be landing on the airport. According to Lokobri, he said he saw in his dream that we had spent 120 or 150 billion naira. Again, another Lokobri dream. We have not spent up to even 60 billion on that airport. And the contractor is a professional, one of the most reputable contractors, Dantata and Sawo. They are the people building the airport. So if you go to them, they'll tell you what they are paid. And this includes the road, almost 3 kilometers or so to join it. Everything there. We have not spent up to even 60 billion. So when you gentlemen see Lokobri next time, tell him, did he visit the airport to see the flood? When did he? Was it in his dream, one of those his fanciful dreams? Or when did he even visit that airport to see what we have done there? Who told him, by whose account? Did he come by the figure of 120 billion or 150 billion? The man is perpetually having malaria. And I know him, he's been my neighbor, but that is the way it is. So we have a lot to celebrate for. But because of the electioneering periods, there will be no elaborate celebrations. We will have to think of some way of marking it after the elections. And I believe it will be a combination of celebration of victory and also a belated 7-year anniversary. Thank you.
Well, Your Excellency, we are getting some reactions from members of the public. Mark Pepper has the first one. He will take the reaction with him, after which Park will also take, so they will take it together and then we'll provide answers. Yes, Mark Pepper.
Your Excellency, this text message came from Esumai Ambrose. He says, Your Excellency, thank you very much for this media chat. Your Excellency, as we speak, gunshots are ongoing at Opunimbe. APC thugs led by one pipeline surveillance contractor are chasing PDP supporters in Nimbe with guns and machetes. Scores of PDP supporters are injured and intimidated. We need security in Nimbe local government area. They want to intimidate us, so we won't vote for our party on election day. That's a text message, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, can we take the second one?
Well, yeah. But that's a serious call. That's a serious call. And I believe the security agencies are listening. Those who are colluding with them are listening. Let us get more about what is actually going on. Organize yourselves in that community. They cannot be more than the law-abiding people of the state. They cannot be more. I will make calls to the appropriate security people who should know. I have said it time and time. All these so-called surveillance contractors are criminals who have been armed by Timipre Silva, with the support of some criminals in the security services, both here in Yanagwa and in Abuja, to kill our own people. And they don't care, because it is not their people we are killing. So if you have a madman like Silva and Lokobri, who are buying guns to give to their people to kill their own people, to them, nothing concerns them in Abuja. But you, the law-abiding people, should organize yourselves and resist them. And where there is proved to be violence, such that elections cannot go on, I believe that INEC will know what to do. But I will get more details about that. And let me also say that there will be several lines that will be opened from tomorrow. They will be unveiled to all members of the public in the state, all the communities. Tomorrow I'll be meeting with all traditional rulers, all community paramount rulers, and I will also tell them, organize their communities and stop these brigands, these criminals, whoever they are, in whatever uniform they may appear in. And a number of them are going to come in fake military uniforms, fake police, fake civil defense. As for the civil defense, they take more instructions from a number of these people. They are attached to Kojo, who will be doing this now in Nimbe. They are there, and they are soldiers. But we will find out more. Numbers will be given from tomorrow, and I will be there receiving calls, receiving reports, community by community. And the radios will also be there, the television will be there. We will broadcast it live to the world. Thank you.
Your Excellency, PAC has a reaction, so also is Lishman. So they will take their questions together.
Yep.
PAC, you
Your
first.
Excellency, this is from Patrick Fala from Yenagoa. Greetings to you, our dear Governor and His Excellency, sir. I and every other well-known Bayelsans appreciate you for the 1,000 graduates you employed through a transparent process and the first class you employed automatically. But I and other Bayelsans are still on our knees pleading that you extend the gesture to other graduates with second-class upper division. Because to be sincere, we also had sleepless nights reading and studying for 4 to 5 years. We are in school without girlfriend. Your Excellency, sir, please extend your heart to accommodate us as well.
Thank you. Well, we will try. There's no way a government will employ everybody. But this is the first time we have thrown employment in this transparent manner. Like I said earlier, I don't know any single person in that 1,000 list. And it was deliberate, because we have to fight for and protect those who don't have big people speaking for them. There are other employment avenues we will open up very soon, but we will also be encouraging a number of our young people to employ themselves, and we will support them. But don't worry, you will hear from us.
Lishman, please.
Your Excellency, I have a text message here. This one says, Your Excellency, please, when would you appoint a new rector for the Bayelsa State School of Entrepreneurship and Vocational Studies, since the former rector died? Because the school is important.
Very important.
And it will cover unemployment, and also it would empower those who go through the school.
Very important, Lishman. I will do so maybe by next week, because it's a very important that we have been working on how to kickstart that training in an effective manner. I think we are getting set. So we'll have all of that in place very soon.
Elizabeth Tuweke will take the next question.
Okay, Your Excellency, sir, members of the opposition party, APC, are saying the relaunch of the Operation Doakpos has been politically motivated, especially the timing. What is your reaction?
There is no time in Operation Doakpo was only stopped for a time because they caused it. They went, everything for them is politics. Everything, for Silva and Lokobri, everything in this life to them is politics. Sickness is politics, death is politics, security is politics for them. Everything is politics. Police is politics, SSS is politics. The SSS office is more like an APC headquarters. They hold more meetings there, both in this state and in Abuja. So for them, everything is politics. Everything they touch, they turn it to ashes, they burn it, paint it black. If you refuse, they blackmail you. That's what they do. Operation Doakpo is not political at all. Everybody knows. Husband and wife quarrel. They call Operation Doakpo. if somebody takes your handbag or your handset on the road. Is that politics? That is not politics. You have the police, you have the civil defense, you have the drug law agency. It's a multi-agency task force, which has been there since 2012. I don't know when anybody told them to go and arrest anyone. I will never do that. I don't need to use security for my politics. My politics is grounded on the people. It is based on service. So I don't need to give a wrong instruction to security. All I tell every security man, including those who have served here who are no more, if you ask them, they'll tell you, Governor Dixon will never give you an unlawful instruction. That's why it doesn't bother who you send to me, even though some are more professional than others. Others come here and convert themselves to be political operatives, and I watch. And I know that if you don't do well in your job, there is punishment for you. Whatever gains you make, you think you have made, you will at the end regret it. And I pray for those who come here with their minds and hearts open and do the right thing. But if you are in a position, you are SSS, you are police, you are army, you are navy, and you are in a position to stop an innocent woman from losing her son, you are in a position to stop somebody from losing their only child, you are in a position to stop somebody from taking a life that God has made, and God has given you a position with the powers to take steps to prevent that, and you are playing politics. Say oil and gas money. You are playing politics. Say APC politics. God Almighty, in His own way, at His own time, has a reward for everybody. I know that. So they are blackmailing because they don't want Opposition Darkpo. They want this state to be in crisis, and they are happy because they are the masters of cultism. So all the young boys holding guns are their boys. So they want to be in a position to unleash them, to overrun everybody. That's why they don't like Opposition Darkpo. Opposition Darkpo, I don't need to know who they are. I'm not interested. In any case, I'm not running for a third term, am I? So in every election going on, I want the people to come out en masse and vote. Whoever has the support of the people should win. I don't care. I will congratulate the other person. But don't come and kill people. Don't come and intimidate people. Don't flood this place with weapons of destruction, which will continue to worry this state long after the election. That is what I'm against. Yep.
Thank you, Excellency. We just got another reaction from a member of the public, and Anderson Nekade is going to take that. Anderson, please.
Your Excellency, still on security. This one's coming in from ABA, all the way from Twanbras. And it says, Kojo and his group are set to replicate what they have done in Basambri, at Okpoma and Ewoma in Brass local government area. Sir, how can you check these criminals in order to save lives?
Well, thank you. I have been talking and talking. I have told all security agencies to do their jobs. If they don't, you have a duty to organize and protect yourselves. You have a duty. If the Nigerian army will work with Kojo because he's their friend, if the Nigerian army, knowing that if Kojo has a surveillance contract, he should stay and protect his pipeline. Not to use the soldiers and civil defense and police to harass and kill people. But if they allow Kojo to come in with criminals and thugs and arm them to shoot their people, organize and resist them, that is lawful. That in law is called self-defense. And self-preservation is the first law of nature. So if the SSS knows what it's doing and it does not, then the blood of all that will be shed will be on their head and on the heads of their generation, from one generation to other. Because I've been raising this alarm. This every time is Kojo disturbing Nembe, now disturbing Brass. with Timothy Silva and Adi. Our people, I believe where we are now, very soon I will address the state again, where we are now, we will have to physically organize ourselves and physically grab these people wherever they are. And I'm going to lead it. We are getting very close there. There's nowhere in Nimbe that I will not get to. If the soldiers and the police and the SSS will not stop Kojo, that criminal, I, Governor Dixon, will go to where he is and will look for him. If the soldiers will not stop him, if they won't stop David Lyon, we know his community. We know where he's living now. Is it not in Igbogene here? I know they don't have any monopoly of violence. And there are very few people. They don't have any monopoly of violence. But first, organize yourselves. Organize your communities. And ensure that you are in a position to vote, protect your votes, and protect yourself and your communities. If the security agencies will not do so, then you organize yourselves. Thank you.
Your Excellency, we've come a long way for today, and we think we may share your thoughts. This is a period for sharing love, and it's also a period where people need to be security conscious. Maybe if we look at these two together, it will guide you on your thoughts you're going to share with us. Your Excellency.
Well, first of all, the elections, we are still in the campaign season. And as leader of the PDP in this state, I have always asked you all that there is no opposition to our candidates. The only opposition we have, which party now? APC. Who are the people there? All their candidates, no certificates. All their candidates, cult members. All their candidates, killers. All their candidates, sponsored and backed by criminals and people whose record of misbehavior is so clear. And they have a government that has not performed. They have a government that has not done anything for our people. They have a government that has nothing good for our people. They have a party that has no place for our people. On the other hand, our PDP, our umbrella, is a party that has done everything for our people. So, I urge you all, as I've been doing local government after local government, to vote en masse. Don't be intimidated with Kojo and Silva and Adi in the brass area. Don't be intimidated with that petty criminal called Lukobri. He's going to see violence on his generation. He's going to see. This terrorism they are visiting on innocent people and communities, they are going to see it. They are going to see it, even beyond our lives. And I'm saying this as governor, in my position as governor of this state. Anybody who wants violence, who wants to kill innocent people, who doesn't care whether the child that will be killed is the only child a woman has, who wants to make people... I've never intimidated anybody. I don't need to. Our politics is persuasion. Our politics is dialogue, negotiation. That is it. So, I urge you all to organize yourselves, come out en masse and vote. And let me also give you one hint that these criminals are not telling their followers. There is no need for you, even though they have bought Silva and Lukobri, using Kojo and the assemblyman in Ekirimo constituency 3. They are all doing that with Lukobri. We know all their movements. I have all the records of what they do, who they meet, where they keep their... I have all the records. Whatever they do, what they are not telling people is that this election, it will be pointless if you go and hijack any material. Because it is going to be PVC election. There is no manual work on it. There is no incident form that will be used. So allow, your best option is allow people who have PVCs. Talk to the people in your communities. You have free money from AGIP. Use that money. They now are forcing NDDC to bring billions of naira to fund elections. I hear they are doing same with the local content. But I think that gentleman should be too good for that. But if that's what he's doing, too bad. But they have plenty money. So they should go and lobby people. Your PVCs are your power. This election is about PVC entering a card reader. So for those thugs who think that they will come and carry materials, the materials you are going to carry will be of no use. And INEC has the capacity to track all their materials. They have ships on those materials, I hear now. So it is pointless for you to go and harass an INEC person, capture them, and capture youth corpers, and so on. It is pointless. Stay in your communities, talk to the voters, spend the money you have, lobby them if you can, if that does not amount to vote buying. Use whatever influence you have and talk to them before the end of tomorrow. Before the end of tomorrow. So that the people can vote for you. So for those talks that they have raised, I'm telling you what they have not told you. You are going to kill people for nothing. You are going to allow yourself to be killed for nothing. You are going to just take away INEC materials and disrupt election for nothing. Better go, if you are a registered voter, go and cast your vote. If you are not a registered voter, wait. After now, you register so that you can vote. I wish all our people happy Valentine. Tomorrow, I will give our state one Valentine gift that will last for a long time, as long as this state and our country exists. That airport, which is with the longest runway, is the most solid airport in this region. And it is not an airport that flood can overrun. It is an airport that is built according to German international standard by Dantata and Sawo. And we are going to have major planes, major airlines landing and utilizing it. Tomorrow, 2 planes will land. The first one, of course, will bring me the former Pepe, the great white shark. I will be landing there with the first plane. Later, a bigger plane, a Boeing 737, flying in from Lagos, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, will announce itself and land at the Bayelsa International Airport. That is my special Valentine gift to Bayelsa and the generation. Whereas others are buying guns and thinking of people to kill, they are thinking of young people to arm, they are thinking of people to blackmail and destroy. I and my team are busy building a new Bayelsa. And it is to this Bayelsa I welcome you all. Stay safe. I've been advised that tomorrow people should close early and go to their communities to work. After working till 12 o'clock, you people should all go, because our places, some of our communities are very far. And you all need to get home. You all need to get home. Go to your communities in peace. Go with your PVCs. And then cast your votes for candidates of your choice, who I know will be the candidates of my party. But if you disagree, no problem. You're entitled to your disagreement. Vote according to your conscience. And let your votes count. I wish you the best of luck. And may God help us. May God bless our state. Thank you. God bless you all.